Just finally, before you go, CBS has finally addressed the allegations that it edited its interview with Kamala Harris. They say this accusation is false. And they said in a statement that 60 Minutes gave an excerpt of our interview to Face the Nation that used a longer section of her answer than that on 60 Minutes. But a different portion of the response. So basically, Kosha, they're saying that the response they used from Kamala Harris painted her in a more favourable light. And the question remains whether they would have done the same to Donald Trump.
Yes, and I think, all evidence to the contrary, them and every other media outlet splicing and taking things out of context and all of that to either harm a candidate or, in this case, help a candidate is something that happens all the time. What's interesting here, though, is there is precedent with CBS itself to release full unedited transcripts, because the reason that they gave that they needed to edit in order to fit it into the time slot doesn't really make sense, because you can always, in the digital era, release the whole thing separately. They did it with former Attorney General Bill Barr in 2019. They did it with Trump himself in 2020. They did it with the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, just earlier this year. So they have done that. And the fact that they're not doing it here is just raising more questions and putting them into heat that they probably don't need to be in.
Yeah. All right. Kosha Garda, thank you very much for your insights.